In this chapter of our tutorial, we're going to take a look at editing MIDI data. And if you have access to the project files, you're going to want to load up this project called MIDI Editing. Again, this is the Ableton Live set MIDI Editing. I'm going to start by looking at the fingered bass part over here, so make sure that you click on this box right here that says bass 1. Down here we see some boxes that represent some notes, and yet when we click on them we don't hear anything. One of the main things you want to do as you're editing MIDI is to make sure you click on this blue headphone icon so that it turns on. And now as we edit, we can hear these changes. Now again, to get to these parameters, we need to be in the clip box to enable the ability to see notes, MIDI notes. Here we see all the MIDI note parameters here. Now this is kind of tight down here. This is a great place to bring your mouse up, get it in between these two panels, click and hold, and push upward. And we can use all this we want to. Now it's more easy to tell this is a piano keyboard down the side. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We see also the 2 black keys, 3 black keys, 2 black keys, 3 black keys going down the left. Now notice as I move my mouse around on the grid over to the gray area in the left here next to the piano, it's telling me exactly what note that might be. Let's listen to this clip now by clicking on its launch button here. Just going to pull this down some now. Get back to my volume control, pull that back a little, and come back up. And I don't need to mix it right now. Okay, so we can take any of these notes and move them around. Simply click somewhere in this area and the field becomes active. And I can immediately click a note and drag it up to change its pitch, or down, Command Z to put it back where it was, or Control Z, undo. And now I'm going down, and again undo, Command Z. We can also move things earlier in the measure or later so that it becomes a different beat. Let's listen. So we go bum ba-dum bum bum bum. So let's go ba-dum. So we can move things around left and right to change their rhythms and up and down to change their pitch. Again, we've got the grid across the top telling us measure numbers with subdivisions, and over to the left we have the piano keyboard letting us know where we are in pitch. So right now this is kind of like a C minor groove. If you understand music, that's great. If you don't, that's okay. We're going to use our ear now. I want to take all these A's, and I can, instead of having to select each one, hold down Shift and add them one at a time. I can select them all, even some that might be off the screen, if I click and hold right here on this key. Notice the box forms selecting all those, and then I can move them all together. I'm going to click and hold and pull those down to G. And I'm going to change this E flats up here, these notes. Select all those, again click hold, then move one of them up. Now I can change it even differently. I don't quite like that. I'm going to take these and move them back up to A. Come over here and choose my C's and move them up to C sharps. Let's add in some drums. I'm going to launch the Brain Tease Groove 1. And come back to the bass clip by clicking on. Now in addition to being able to move these notes around, we can add in new notes and change their lengths. Let's take this first note. Notice when you get near the end or the beginning of a note, you get a little bracket sign. So I'm going to go to this note, click and hold, and drag it out, making it longer. So you can do that freely. You can also add in new notes if you go into draw mode. Again, this is our draw mode button here. Clicking on it turns it off and on. And also Command B gives me that. So if I want to add in a note here, I simply click there. Okay, so I'm going to change that note. I'm going to come out of draw mode, Command B, give Giving me that back. So you can experiment around. Again, you can do this by ear while it's playing. If it's bothering you to move things while it's playing, simply press the space bar, move while it's stopped, and play. And you can create anything you want to at this point. Another thing we want to know about MIDI editing is down at the bottom we see these horizontal bars. Notice if I hover above one they turn blue, and the note corresponding to that up here turns blue also. This is the velocity or the strength the key was hit, and changing these often makes the note softer and less bright. Not always, but usually. So let's take one of these notes. I'm going to take this note down here that kicks right into this, crank it up all the way, click and hold on that dot, lowering velocity. If I go upward, I'm increasing it. Let's listen again. Now I'm going to take these, select them, come down below, lower, and listen again. So you can create dynamic changes by shifting the velocity around with these bars on the bottom. And again, notice that we get a number up top underneath the measure counter where it says measure 2. This velocity was 96. This one is now at 55. So you can change these around and listen while you do it. Okay, next we're going to take a look at how drum editing can be different from a keyboard view.